I just want to go through something that I think will be important for you. I want to show you how to work with a devil. And this devil is very different than the one you might be envisaging right now in your mind. This devil is just a piece of steel with a cove filed into it, ground into it, whichever way you want to go. And what this does is you have chair legs, spindles, rails, all kinds of things that we use in woodworking that have rounded components. And sometimes, often we use a round spoke shave that has a round in it. They're very difficult to sharpen. This eliminates the need for that. And what this tool does, if you can see right in here, I've shaped this, and what it's going to do is it's going to give me a shaving in a radius like this. So what we use this for is to finesse the work we did with a spoke shave. So I'm going to show you how I made this. It's very, very quick, very, very simple. And you need one if you're going to make chairs or spindles or ladder rungs or whatever. So this is how I make mine. So I go off center like this. You can see, I don't know whether that's thirds, it's not quite thirds, but it's off-centered, and that's all that matters. And I'm only going to go to about here, like this one here. I stop shy of the end, just to keep the two parts aligned. Just a handsaw. Saw down the line. And that should take, this is just a regular, this is just a regular steel scraper, but I just filed it in the end so I can continue using the same scraper for a flat card scraper and have the rounds in the end. Here I've got a piece of a scraper, and this should hopefully slide into here like this. And it does, it's a good size, it matches the size. So what we're going to do, first of all, is file a half moon in here. And these moons can be to different sizes. So I've got a pretty coarse file here, down low in the vise. Quite noisy. Now I'm angling up. Can you see I'm angling up because I want a bevel on here. It's going to be a one direction shave here. So I'm filing up. I'm moving my hand to the back so you can see into this. So I've got a bevel on here. This is a coarse file at the moment, and that's probably enough for what I want for this particular one. Then I'm going to go with a finer file. Here, just to finesse the inside of that, make it, this is a very fine file, and actually this would be enough for this type of a tool. You don't need a super sharp edge on this. It's going to put a burr on this flat face. It's got a very strong burr on here, which is simple to get rid of. Just flip it over on here, and that's going to push that burr off. So that's got my shape. This is a shallow one. I don't need a very big one for some of the work. If I'm working on, say, a spindle like this one here, can you see that? That's following the radius in there. So already this will work. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to burnish this just a little bit with this burnisher. This is just a hard piece of steel. Just rub it back and forth on here at the same bevel, and then bring it over to where it's almost level, and that's put a burnished edge on that front edge. So this is going to go in here, but first of all, got a couple of things to do on this. A rasp here. So right in here, this does not have to follow the radius that I just cut, but I'm just making a hollow in here. I'm going to go in at an angle here as best I can and put a leading edge on here. Till I get close to the saw curve that I created. I'm going to go on the back edge. This just gives me visibility into the cutting edge. So this is just another poor man's tool that we can use. So I'm going to keep this narrow edge for the front of it. So I have this bevel on the back edge is going to go to the wide edge. So I know which edge I want to use for the cutting edge is going to be on this narrow edge. So I can offer this to the work here. So now you can see the reason I want this hollow in here is I want to follow the radius, because that way I get less chatter, I get less flex in the actual blade of the devil itself. There. So I've just left it proud by 3/30 seconds or something like that. A couple of additions on here. Just a screw on either side. Just to give me the ability to cinch the blade nice and tight in the holder. Couple of screws like this. And that tool is now ready to go. Let's see how this works on these thinner spindles here. So I can pull this. So now I've got my shavings coming off here. See if I can do it a little bit more where you can see here. See, there's my shavings coming off. Nice thick shavings or thin shaving. And what you do is, if you have a different radius, you just simply swivel this like this to a narrower radius, or if you have a wide one, so you don't actually need to change the size very often. And I'm getting my shavings off here very nicely. So that's how to make a chair devil.